Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, not too bad. Oh, I just heard something funny. I can't, I have so much on my mind right now. Just a moment. I'm going to take a sip of coffee and then get to what I'm going to talk about today. Oh, yum. Colombian. It's good. I love it. It's my favorite kind. Um, I'm thinking about betrayal today and people that do that to other people, especially when you give them the opportunity to be honest. Like if you tell somebody, okay, we don't have to be in love, let's just be friends, or like people that you know that will be untrue with their words and how they can't carry dignity. Like they think they're crafty. They think that's a craft that they've honed and practiced. And what you carry or what I carry is dignity because I don't practice anything. Oh, did hear somebody else say um, about uh, he's like, you thought your what was it, dime store magic was going to work on me. It's like, wow, I can so relate to that. The people that I have seen um, practice dark arts in front of me and think that they can carry some kind of dignity. I don't see how that could be possible because it's a total lie. See, because when you're authentically yourself and you're not patterning yourself um, from anybody but you, that's your dignity. You don't have to practice something somebody else made, you know? So if you carry that type of strength within you, or if you believe that there's a higher force like I do that helps me, you know, that's that's probably a good thing too, you know. And no, who helps me is not dark, although that energy can become dark, just like me. I'm not dark spirited, but when pushed, that could be a very different story because my nature isn't to be um, violent or non caring, but in the face of that, I'm not backing down ever. So that's the difference between having dignity and not being able to, even if they pretend it, you know? So, so how do you like that, Dark Cabal? Go fuck yourself. So anyway, I bet you can tell what mood I'm in. Excuse me. I just had a couple hits of my weed too, so I'm not just choking like I'm gonna drop over from cancer or nothing. See, the thing is too, now I heard with the 19 bullshit and whatever. Hey 19, that's a song. Um, the jab shit and all that with that horse and dog wormers that aren't just for them but are actually prescribed by physicians, and I'm not going to say the name of them on here, but um there's certain ways that a person can detox, and even working out and the stuff we eat or whatever, that I believe that any carcinogen I inhale or ingest isn't going to bother me because my mind's stronger than that. I work it out of my system, you know? So that's the difference between, I believe, that's the difference between being able to ingest something that maybe might kill somebody else. You know, that's my opinion on that. Because I know I'm strong, and I know people that had never smoked a thing in their life, never been around any kind of poisons or anything. I mean, I worked with gypsum, you know, different asbestos, all kinds of. Really, I grew up with somebody that had been radiated, you know, so just, you know, just a matter of mind over matter. It really is. I'm convinced of it. And yeah, I've studied nutrition, health, muscular system, and skeletal, and internal, and external, and everything, you know, like that to keep healthy. But one thing that's kept me is my insight. Just connecting with myself on a deep enough level that I know the chemistry of what's going on with everything like that. That's truly alchemy. Even your emotions, everything is a matter of this existence, our spiritual connected with the physical and operating within that realm. So people that have tried to attack me or different things that they've done to me and it didn't work out the way they wanted it to, that's because I'm more intelligent, because I have somebody in the spirit realm that helps me. How about you? Because if you're getting help to do some kind of dark art, you're not pass and go. You're stuck in the same old humdrum. And if you're whining about how hard this life is, expect to keep doing it until you fucking stop whining. And the thing is, the whiners, they always put it off on somebody else. They never take responsibility for anything. And if they do, and they're not doing it wholeheartedly, um, they don't have a right to dignity, and don't treat them like they do. The thing is, this is what really pisses me off on this planet, is not just the forgive people, because go ahead, it's a good thing. Yeah, we to walk around angry all the time is not a good thing, but total forgiveness or mercy for some real dark deeds out of me, that's not happening. You know, Forgiveness enough that I don't come to where you are and take care of business in person. That's enough forgiveness for some people, you know, especially when they've gone through the court systems and got away with things, you know. So, oh, I started getting kind of hot right there. I don't mean physically. Just give me a second. Then I lost my train of thought. It's like whew, off the rails. Give me a minute. These people that do these things to other people and think that, you know, there's no ramifications. Oh, yeah, there are. You don't know me. Sometimes too, it's not even what's been done to me, but what's happening to other people that, you may not even make the same enemy. You might be thinking you're hurting somebody else, and somebody like me is aware of that. And so you made an enemy that might want to take you out that you didn't even realize because you're a dick, that type of thing, or a whatever type of person, Never know. This is a very strange world, isn't it? But I'm not convinced that keeping my mouth shut about what other people have done in their lives, they don't deserve that. If you have a narcissist in your life and you're protecting it from the world and its private behaviors, talk about it. You have every right to speak on that. And no, they don't want you. No, forgive them. Don't tell the whole world the piece of shit that they were. I mean, truly, if there's a person in your life that has tortured you for the dark force, lay them on the line in front of the whole world. That's what they deserve. And it doesn't mean you don't even love these people. That's what they deserve. And until they face the music, sure, you could say, well, they're going to get theirs in their own time. No, time's sped up. It's time to tell these monsters really exactly how you feel and tell the whole world why you feel like that. I mean, you have a right to exonerate yourself from the bullshit that's happened. You know, I won't put up with it. Somebody treats me with dark intent, the whole world's going to know about it. Some people are like, oh, she loves me, runs to the top of the mountain, screams to the world. I run to the top of the mountain and tell the world that this is what a psychopath is, you know, and I'm sick of it. There's too much of it in this world. You don't want to meet me. I'll drive you crazy. I'll probably send you to the ER just because you're having an aneurysm by the time I get done with your brain. That's how I feel about people that pretend they have dignity and they're undeserving, you know? Oh, I have a little white kitty outside. She's just a year old. I call her Midget, Midgie or Midget. She had babies sometime through the night, I think. And she was out there when I fed everybody, and she was hunting after that, and she ran on top of a log and she was sharpening her claws, and it's like, wow, you're feeling pretty good for a little. She was just a baby this time last year, you know. It's like, wow, talk about healthy. And the father of, I mean, she was this big around and only this tall. That poor little thing, even one of her back feet, her left back foot was hurt from the weight, carrying the weight. I can see it, you know, like poor thing. I don't know how many she had, but it's easy to tell she had her babies. She was still pretty big, but um, because of all the blood and her being pure white. So yeah, they'll be out and about pretty soon, and um, I do have to get that SIM card for a camera, and then I'll be taking some pictures of the wild cats, feral kitties. Thing is, I deworm them, and um, uh, well, I had one I could put a flea collar on, but I do have diatomaceous earth that I sprinkle around for flea control in their house, and also neem, ground up neem is good for that too. And garlic in their food. You can't give them onion, but you can give your animals garlic, you know, that type of stuff. So, yeah, I guard them from as many dangers as I can, you know. This has itty bitty beads on it, like right, you know, the little tan. I don't know if you can see it. Isn't it cool? The whole thing is beaded, and then metal buttons, and even there's like slits on the side and they have little metal rivets too. I used to sew a lot and I made like a jean jacket and I had a riveter and a buttonholer, that type of thing. I used to do a lot of stuff like that. So take special sewing needles and all kinds of special tools to work with real thick denim. I even made, when I first moved up here, I made Doug a quilt, a patchwork quilt out of our old jeans, and then I lined it, and he had that for decades. Uh, Something to do in my spare time. I used to knit and crochet a lot and embroider and do a lot of stuff. So I didn't make this, no, but my birth mother makes stuff like this. Um, yeah, she made this one. It was satin with gold embroidery and different stuff. Well, her sewing machine embroiders, and that's what this is too. It's machine made, but yeah. But she has this, or did have a customer, this one not Native American Indian, but Indian woman that would bring her um, either material or outfits, different things for her to have either tailored or different things added to it or actual whole things. And then my oldest sister and one of her friends, they have a business online. I don't remember the name of it, but they make scrubs for, like tailor-made scrubs and really cool like prints and different things that you usually don't see in a hospital. They make some really cute um, medical people in the medical industry that scrubs, you know what they are. So anyway, I didn't know my natural mother was a seamstress or a tailor at all, but I had this little tiny sewing machine in my room when I was a kid. I was 5 when I first started, and you would wind up the side of it. It was white with a pink wind up thingy, and then you'd put the material under it's called the pressure foot, where the needle is to hold it in place. And so you get it down there. First you wind it up, and then you put the pressure down, and it go brrr, like that much. That's all you get out of it is about maybe 3 or 4 inches of sewing from winding it up, you know. But I can make like doll clothes, and I used to make like fashion designs for my Barbie doll and different really cute things that um I even ended up buying outfits like the ones that I had made for my doll. Like, you put something in the ether, it's in your mind, and if you're kind of like inventive or a designer of different things, and you might think it, and then it'll be out there, that type of, at least I've seen that happen, Anyway, I was thinking one time, and I ended up getting it. I had this, and I always wanted something like that for like beach wear or summer wear or something. But I had this fuchsia colored outfit lined with white around the sleeves, and it was bare midriff and not real short shorts, but just cute. So it was like a bare midriff short outfit made out of terry cloth, 100% cotton. That was like the cutest outfit. I must have wore it out to death. I don't recall, but yeah, it was really cute. I was just thinking that's real the dignity thing on how dare they the audacity of it all, right? People that are low lives. I mean, true, if you've actually turned over a new leaf, but you can't turn that leaf over only once a week and pretend that that's your personality, you know? You don't have the right to dignity until you actually carry that dignity, you know. And it's not just a personal thing either, as far as how you treat yourself. Yeah, but it inflicts other people, you know. Afflicts. That's what it is. Affliction. Yeah, it can be an affliction, right? I guess that's my point, you know. So yeah. Can you imagine doing dark arts and actually thinking, first off, that somebody that doesn't, you assume they don't know what you're doing just because they don't do the same thing. You assume that they're unaware of what you do, like they're stupid, or just because they don't say something right away, or that you think you poison somebody, or you um, tried to bind their speech, or whatever little things people do to other people, what, and they really do try, you know. Is it a coincidence that there's so many Barbie dolls just the year after I was born, developed the very same year I was born? Hmm. And then they name one Midge and the other Skipper, her little sister. Not real names, you know. Yeah, I wonder. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And then this is weird too. My first doll I got was a Chatty Cathy. And then I find out that that was my first name before I was gave away, Kathleen Marie. So it was a Kathy, you know. And then I get a Kathy doll. But see, the Dark Cabal, they keep track. I mean, we all have a social security number. We all have a family lineage and history. Now, there's part of the United States that don't keep track of that as much. There's parts in uh, in the Ozarks, like in Arkansas and like northern Georgia. There's different areas, pockets, and like up in the Appalachians, there's different parts. But even the Native Americans have great record keeping of the families within the tribes and that type of thing. So everybody's very well documented, you know, on this planet. They know who you are um, the day you're born, you know. And mind to skull technology is what that protractor and level the measurement of your skull the day you are born. It's all etherical, it's all tools to invade your mind using the parasitical system that's within our bodies that dark force entities can use against you or I. If you're not aware of it and you don't know how to actually guard or protect yourself from that, and I think people are getting a little more aware of that, but it's real. Yeah, so anyway, back to the um, keeping quiet when people are dirty. Fuck them. If they were worried about their image in the world, they wouldn't be dirty to begin with. There wouldn't be anything to expose, and you don't have to feel hard pressed or bad about um, telling the world, even if it's your own parent, and you tell the world that they're crappy or your own child. That's that person's problem, not yours, not mine. That's them. I could say, well, environment, or they're like a product of their environment. If that was the case, which I can be, but I would be the biggest monster on this planet. But that doesn't give people a license to be a crappy human being because they had a rough time. You know, it's like the crabby parent that comes home after work. Why don't you just shut the fuck up? You're the one who had kids or bought them or whatever. It's not that child's problem, it's our problem. You know, if we can't get it together as human beings and take care of the ones that were commissioned in our close proximity to take care of, then what are you? You don't deserve dignity and you don't deserve my silence. And you're not going to get it. This is the type of language that needs to be spoken in churches, maybe without the profanity. But I'm talking about close your little books, your little bookie books, and start talking to people as counseling their souls, not just pretending you are with somebody else's words. The word of God's written on your heart. Why don't you fucking use it the right way? It was as a blueprint, as a fictitious stories that were put into like parables and different things to get people to think. It's not actual historical information about bloodlines at all. It's stories. That's it. Doesn't mean that the intention of the whole thing isn't a good thing, because it is. It's just been done the wrong way, you know. I'm not saying like if you read a Psalms or and it used to be sung or whatever, that it isn't a beautiful thing, or that repeating something like um I happen to be partial to the book of John because the code in the New Testament from the Freemasons in correlation with their blue book and a 1920s Webster dictionary, Merriam-Webster. It's the only, with the Strong's Concordance, you take those books together and maybe a thesaurus, and within that are these codes that all correlate and tell you the true meaning of those words and their texts. And it may not be the first definition of a word. Sometimes, and most likely, it is the second and the third, what they use in their coding. And it's deep, it's worldwide, and it's multiple languages, you know. And it's a trip, but that's what I studied. So they're not getting anything past me, not one thing. I told Doug that this morning. There's nothing that these people can do to me with their pretense of alchemy. I'll switch it up on them. Doesn't matter. Bring it on. I don't care. I don't know when that's going to get through their stupid fucking heads. But whatever they do, I don't care. I'll turn it in to benefit me and everybody I'm around. So I don't care like that. you know. So that's how I feel about those who have to feign dignity versus those who actually carry it. I'll leave you on that note. I'm going to get this uploaded. I love you all. I really appreciate you joining me. Hope your week's been going wonderful. Mine's not too bad. I'm feeling pretty good. I told you by summer I'm going to be a beast. I'm going to show you. You'll see. Um, if some of you don't know, I'm 67 in February. I was the 15th. So, um, and yeah, I'm strong. So, yeah, keep active, keep busy, keep your um, mindset out of the depths of darkness, you know, and you're going to be okay. So, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.